Hey guys, welcome to the first video of the 3 I will be making on the new tactical master units. These guys are very hard to use because there's so much you could do with them. They're very creative, they're very fun, they're very interesting. And I want to start today with Valara. Valara is the ancient exclusive one, and while she's the one that we will all have, we will all probably not have, she's the one that seems the most interesting to me. Apart from Raiden, but I'm saving him because he seems very complicated and I am scared. So to start off, we got Valara here. I'm going to try her in quite a few areas. Now, I asked my Discord for some suggestions. So I'm going to be trying her on Gear Raid 3. Can she replace Alora? Gear Raid 1, can she replace Ymrit? Kind of. Does the knockback hit air? Trying her in Aoe Arena, and then just going into her mechanics a little bit. Because these tactical masters, like I said, are very hard to use, but in a good way. Alright, so going in, we got Valara here. Stat-wise, 16,000 HP, which is pretty low for a ground unit. But she does also have the Zilla to Ymrit. That type of range, the best range for a fighter in my opinion. And then she has over 6,000 attack, which is insane. She has attack interval of 2.6. We have gear on, so obviously it's going to be a little bit different. Crit rate, crit damage, as you can see here, very normal, and the rage regen stats are normal. Going into the kit really quickly, can be deployed on platform tiles. So she can actually move from platform to ground to platform, and she can be placed on either, which is incredibly cool, especially because her range is freaking weird for platformers. Then she also gains invisibility, which means that she can't be targeted. She cannot block enemies. And when she attacks, has a 20% chance to deal extra AoE damage. All direct damage dealt by the hero also inflicts slow, 25% slow, which is crazy, on every attack, and has a 20% chance to additionally inflict radiant erosion, which deals damage based on true damage. It's a lot of damage on high defense enemies. A1, AoE damage up to 5 enemies. Passive, during the ultimate, increases the chance to inflict radiant erosion from the talent to 40%, so double. And attacking targets that are inflicted with it deals extra true damage equal to 30% attack. So you're gonna want to build her with as much attack as you possibly can. Then she has an auto, which is every 15 seconds deals 400% AoE damage to 10 targets, while inflicting 30% magic resistance reduction. This lasts for 10 seconds, which means that this is almost full uptime. There's about 5 seconds, so it's like 66% uptime, which is really good. And the talent's radiant erosion is guaranteed to be inflicted. We also have more damage in Arena. We have the bond skill, which reduces her deployment cost by 5 if you have Raiden, which we basically all will. And it'll make her 12 cost, because she's 70 cost base. And during the ultimate, if there are no enemy units in range, restores 8% rage every 2 seconds, which is really, really good. Then the ultimate can choose and move to a deployable tile within 4 tiles, removes the invisibility, increases the attack range, deals 260% AoE damage with each attack, and additionally the talent inflicts 50% slow instead. And you can see that she's on a platform tile, moves down to a ground tile, which she flies, super cool, and then she's in the air like Ymrit, starting to hit people with a type of piercer-like range, which is really cool. She's a blast. Also, we have the Awakenings. A1, when they enter attack range, inflict a stack of radiant erosion just immediately. Then, attacking targets inflicted with it ignores 25% magic resistance. That's really good. It's like 25% damage penetration, essentially. A2 is extra attack. I like that it's percentage because her base attack's really high. I don't think it makes that big of a difference, but just an observation. A3 during the ultimate becomes immune to the first instance of damage taken. After triggering it, all damage taken by 50% reduces by 50% for 5 seconds. Then we have extra penetration and deals extra damage to targets inflicted with slow and control effects, which is almost all the time. Alright? Super, super cool kit, super cool hero, and I'm very excited to try her out. Now, gear-wise, I did go with full attack. The pieces are kind of good. I should probably make it more acceptable for the average player. So we're going to go in. I kind of tinkered around with my gear too much with the gem update. So this gear is really good. Don't get me wrong. but it's kind of hard for me not to use good gear. So here we got gear like this. As we can see, you have a lot of attack here. Just going for as much attack as possible while still using Soulbound. We don't really need the extra HP because she's going to be invisible. And then we have the exclusive artifact, which I forgot to show in my last video. Increases AoE damage by 30%. When the ultimate is activated, instantly casts Leap of Faith and reduces cooldown by 5 seconds during the ultimate. Leap of Faith is the extra damage with a magic resistance reduction. So you have the exclusive artifact. In the ultimate, it is 100%, 30% magic resistance reduction. It's insane. Alright. Also, BP wise, if anyone wants to know, you're able to get about 124k with some insane gear. She's not really going to be used for BP very much. So, with that out of the way, let's get into the testing. To properly test Valara here, I have decided to do a couple things. Number one is put her with the Lord. Eventually, I'm going to try her on 24, as long as she can reasonably beat 22's right side. And then I also have the other stuff you would usually put in a Geary 3 run. We got Yovar just as the Lord and to help with the right, just in case. We got Silas, we got Yuri for the middle, Kai for the left. Kai is so much better than Nyx because he boosts air damage, which is going to be very valuable. Talon is just there because I had a slot and it applies a little bit of flexibility. But you're going to see that Valara is actually just freaking 12 cost. She's just 12 cost, which is great. So I can place her there whenever I want, which is great. And something I really wanted to check is, can we even move her out? Which we cannot. So we can only keep her on the same tile, which, as you can see, does still trigger her ultimate. And something interesting that you guys might want to know, which I'll cover now, is if you auto ult, she'll actually just ult in place, apparently. And that's what all of these guys do. Here, I'm gonna wait until the monsters come down. But apparently every single tactical master unit, they all ult and stay on the same spot. So that's how I assume they'll work in GVG and all that stuff, as you can see there. Damn, she hits hard. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go into the run. So first of all, the way you do this is you put down Dallin immediately, as long as you're using her. You can do it without, but I find it just gives you some flexibility, especially with placing on the left side. There's less RNG. Then we put Diao Chen there. We have Hollow, so we can put Hollow behind Yuri. We're going to pop Yuri ultimate. And then we're going to place down Silas immediately. And then Valara immediately. Now, we cannot ult with Valara, otherwise she will get molested. But we can use Praetus ultimate to buff her up a little bit. And you'll see that she's honestly not doing a bad amount of damage, which is kind of interesting. It's not the best damage ever, but honestly, it's pretty good. The thing is, she's doing magic damage, and these mobs are more resistant to magic damage. So that's something you do have to keep in mind. But of course, we're not using the ultimate, so I don't know how good the ultimate will be. So I'm going to put Yovar down right there. This is not going to be a perfect test, but you can see that the mob almost died just by her damage. Now, of course, this is only 22, but it's still worth mentioning. Now we're going to keep it going here. Try to burst down the boss as best we can. Realistically, we don't need to deal with the boss for this testing. What I want to deal with is just the right side, right? So the sooner we deal with the boss, the less likely we have a chance to fail. Now here what you're going to see is she's actually doing a ton more damage, because not only did we increase it with Praetus Hammer, we also have Kai dealing damage, which is very, very big. Kai dealing damage in his ultimate buffs anti-air damage. You don't have to be a piercer, if I'm not mistaken. So she's going to do a lot more damage, and she's chunking that thing like crazy, which is really good. I mean, the fact that Allura and Hatset are the only options currently, the fact that she does do a decent job is a big deal, simply. And even though she's not like soloing the mobs effortlessly, as long as she gets them low enough for Yovar to finish them off, it's still noteworthy. So here, she's going to finish it off. I'm going to then wait a tiny bit We're just gonna click it now. I'm going to click the Praetus Hammer, and then we're going to see what happens. Damn, that is a lot of damage. Come on, Valara. Damn, she's doing a lot. Okay, I was not expecting that. She cleared it just fine. Now, once again, this is only 22, but Hatsit really struggles. It's very difficult. And Allura simply needs awakenings after a certain point, and it's also very hard to do it. So she's just chunking this down, finishing them off, and we're honestly chilling. So I'm going to click it again. We haven't needed Yovar a single time, which is amazing. I suspect it won't work for 24, because 24 is super hard, but the fact that it's kind of working is pretty cool. And the slows really, really help as well. As you saw there, they slowed down, and then they couldn't actually hit her because they weren't close enough, because she had slowed them down. So you can use her on the right side pretty easily. I didn't even need to use Yovar at all. Oh, Ancient? Don't mind if I do. It's a solid piece too. Either way, let me go to 24 and see if she even works, or how close she gets to clearing things. I think she works for 23 from what I've seen there, but I want to try 24 because 24 is so difficult. Now I am on 24, and I got Lady A in here. 24 currently is not doable without Lady A, unfortunately. It's just how it goes, right? It's the fact of the matter. And we got the same team otherwise, and we're just going to go into it. So, going through 23, there was a little bit of an issue with Valara, which has since been solved. Every time I get it on camera, it no longer happens to me, but I swear it was happening on 23, where she'll just get targeted when she's placed. But I'll go over that as soon as I try to place her. Essentially, for the Lady A strat, you do Dallin, you do Lady A, and then you do Diao-chan. You pop them both. I'll pop an Arbiter Hammer just because we have it. Then you place Silas so we can accumulate his ult and save the day over there. And you place Valara. Now here, there was a chance that she dies. That's the first time I've got it on camera. I don't know why she gets targeted there sometimes. So what I had to do is I had to invert her and Silas's placements. But that doesn't always happen. So I'm not entirely sure why that happens. But it's good to know I'm not crazy. Because she'll just randomly die because she's not invisible until a frame or two after she's placed. So the targeting still works on her. I've told the devs, I've said, hey, you gotta fix this. Hopefully it gets fixed. But either way, Valara does struggle when you place her over here. Maybe if I pause for a longer time, she can place. She can't. Yeah, so you can see right there, she just keeps on dying. Now, for like 3 attempts in a row, she didn't die, and I don't know why. So just keep that in mind that if you're going to be using Valara, it might be a little bit of a struggle. All right? I waited too long on Lady A. But either way, we're just going to go into this. I'm going to place Valara first. And she still dies. I don't know what to do here. So, I can't really show her off if she keeps dying. Right? So, I hope there's a way to figure this out. But, as you can see, it can be very frustrating to use her here if you're using a Lady A comp. So, just keep that in mind, that she does have that issue. So here I'm going to wait a little bit extra time, and then I place her down and she's fine. Which is weird, but it's fine. You might need to wait a bit longer placing her if you're going to use Dallin and Lady A. Either way, we're going to keep it moving. And hopefully Silas can clear, which she can. Valera's on the side doing whatever she can to kill that mob. We're going to inevitably have to place a Yovar there, or Lady A can mop it up. She's A5, right? So she's going to mop it. If you have an A0 Lady A, I don't know how it translates super well. But I'm going to leave Yovar there for now. Just because this is incredibly sketch right now. We're going to put down Kai. We might as well Arbiter Hammer. Just because we can. And then I'm going to place element on the left as soon as these bombs are dead, which they're about to die, which is good. We're going to swap it. This is not a perfect run by any means, but I mean, this is the hardest stage in the entire game, so cut me some slack. Basically, if Lady A targets this mob, it'll die. If it doesn't, we'll just keep it moving. I'm not too bothered by getting this to be a perfect run. The good thing about it being test server is I don't really care about the outcome, right? The only issue is we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for this guy to get out of her range so she doesn't freaking die. As you can see, we're doing some damage there to that guy. We can Yavar. We might have been able to kill it, but we're gonna look up here at her, at what she's able to do, and we're gonna kind of judge if she's capable of killing it. No, it doesn't seem great. It does seem similar to Alora. The thing is, Lady A targeted the main guy, which is the one that we don't want to target. So if we manage to target the guy who's behind, those two die, and then we just have to deal with the rest. But honestly, the damage isn't there. So, can I really say she's a better Alora for Gear 3? I think the answer is no. I don't think I can. I think she's good. She definitely works for 23 if you have solid gear. And she's an alternative, but she's not the answer. Alright? She's good. Don't think of her as an improvement. Think of her as a alternative. Alright? Here, damage-wise, she's just okay. The thing is, these mobs are resistant to magic damage. So when you get to 24, it's like impossible to kill them. I mean, hell, an A3 Alora is almost barely, barely possible. You have to basically have an A5 Alora to even be able to beat 24. So this isn't really too bad for Valara. She's not going to be like, oh no, I'm terrible. This is a terrible unit because she can't beat the hardest stage in the game. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. Like, she works for 23, which is good. And let's move on to Grade 1. I spent the last couple minutes going through 22 and 23 of Geared 1, and holy cow is she good. I'm going to show you guys two different teams. I'm going to show you two different teams. The first with Valara instead of Ymrit, and then the second one is going to be instead of MAGDA, because she does so much damage and knockback that I think she might actually be better than MAGDA. But I'm getting ahead of myself once again. This is a team we're going to be using. I know the awakenings are high, but the important part is Valara is a 0 and has the worst gear, probably, or at least middling gear. And we're going to see what happens. So essentially, you know, I've done 124 in the past. We're going to do Vierna immediately. Then we're going to do Elowen. Usually Vierna does the most damage. I suspect that she won't in this one just because she's not built perfectly. Then we're going to place down our MAGDA right here, face her up. And then we're going to put down Beelzebub right here, giving her the Invic. Now, something important to note is the way I have this set up, Valara doesn't get Invic. There's no Invic for Valara. Okay, so keep that in mind, that's less damage. Keep that in mind. But I'm going to keep with it to show you guys the normal 124 clear. We're going to put Cerberus in front of the gate. He's A3, will be very helpful. And then we're going to put down our Boreas. Here I'm going to use the A5 Elowen. If you don't have A5 Elowen, just skip this step. It's pretty easy without. Anyways, then we're going to place Valara here. Because Valara, in the Gear 3, we place her on a platform tile. Now we're placing her on the ground, which is really, really cool. Alright, super cool design there. We're going to place Boreas and Beelzebub ults right here. We're trying to set up our Cerberus as much as possible. Just the easiest way to do this. Then, when they get close to Cerberus, we're going to click his ult. He has Hell's Lament. It's just going to do a ton of damage. And I'm actually going to save our ults. Because as you can see, everything is getting shredded by Cerberus's ult. That's how it usually goes. But now here is where MAGDA is supposed to shine. But we also have Valara. So something I want to show you guys is every time Valara does that push, every single enemy gets pushed back so much. You'll see it very, very soon here. They're going to get pushed. Bam. You see that push? It's crazy. And the thing is, she's on this tile, so she's not pushing them back the whole way. Which means if she's in Magda spot, she might actually be better pushback. And you can also see that she's hitting people outside of her range, which is kind of crazy. So she's hitting everyone with this lightning, and she's hitting them with her basic attack. It is wild. Here we're going to place down Artemis, just so we can make sure that everyone stays low enough for Valara to execute, which we will right now. It should kill most of them, which it does. It's beautiful. It's freaking beautiful. I love this for this unit. Oh my god, the tactical masters are so fun. Here we're going to essentially try to save Beelzebub ult. I'm going to Boreas, and then we're going to use our other ults. I probably should have Valara'd earlier. It's okay. It doesn't really matter too much at the end of the day. We're just ultimately trying to do as much damage as we can in this time, so we can then put down our Cerberus. Right there, which is beautiful. Now, something else that Valara does is if she happens to get a knockback here, she'll actually push him away from Cerberus, which allows you to get your ults off better, which is really good. Here, she's not going to do it because she's not ulting, but it is something that I saw. See, pushback. Cerberus lives a little bit longer. If you're struggling to trigger your Cerberus, that's always good. Here, let me do a Wood Elf. Valara doesn't have a lot of HP, unfortunately, so she is liable to die. So just keep that in mind, that if she dies, we might not win this. But essentially, we're clicking all our ults. Valara's doing the insane knockbacks. Magda's doing the knockbacks. We have Cerberus's pool still on the ground. This is 24. This is the second hardest stage in the game, I would say. Abyss obviously doesn't count as a stage. And everything just melted. Now, Cerberus is going to be top of the leaderboard, I think. But I'm curious to see how Valara stacks up to Magda. Here we're going to skip ahead a little bit. We're going to use Valara ult again. And this is the easiest clear I've ever had. The gear in this team is good, don't get me wrong, but I've seen a lot better gear be used on 121 clear or 124 clears, and it go a lot more poorly. Here, look at the wall. Look at the wall. It's so dumb. And a lot of that is Valara. A lot of it's Cerberus too, but a lot of it is Valara. So here, one more Valara ult. We're going to just kind of stomp this as best we can. The boss is getting absolutely nuked into oblivion. Barely healing up. Doesn't matter. We're going to end it very, very soon. We're going to just cycle our ults as usual. As you can see, they got knocked back and they started walking up, which is a weird bug. If anyone wants to rewind and see that. Either way, we just win there. Now, it's possible Valara does the best because she got a lot of executes, but what we're looking at is Magda versus Valara. Now, keep in mind that Valara is hitting less enemies than she should. She's knockbacking less than she should because she's not in Magda's spot. Alright? So going into this, keep that in mind. Stat-wise, Valara does very well. Now, it's not as high as I know I hyped it up, but in the previous stages, she was doing the same damage as Magda, which is insane. She's doing over 100 mil more than Ymrit ever would, by the way. 100% a really good Ymrit replacement. Obviously, Valara with the executes, Magda is in the middle, and also got the Ivig that Valara didn't, and then Cerberus is there with 500 mil. Now, we gotta try it without Magda, though, because I know not everyone has Magda. So let me gear that up, and I'll be right back. Here we have the second team, which is Ymrit instead of Magda. I know not everyone has Ymrit, but it's okay. It's the second best option we got. Helps with some anti-heal. It just makes sense, right? But functionally, we're going to do the same thing, but this time Valara is not only getting Invig, or Wings of Grace, whatever it's called, but we're also going to have her in the middle, which allows for better knockback. Kind of. And the reason why I'm saying kind of is because if I put Valara down right here, she knockbacks. And it's good. It's good for this stage. She does it more in her ult. It's really good. It stops the wall from taking damage. But using the Cerberus strat, which is the only way I know how to beat Gear Aid 1, it is worse. Because she'll knock them back into Cerberus. Cerberus will die early, and then you'll start to lose. So, For this, I've added Wings of Grace to Morrigan, which is what we're going to put on Valara. And until then, we're not placing her. Which I know seems counterintuitive. If you're not using the Serb strat, you could do it sooner, obviously. But for now, I'm doing it this way. It just makes sense, alright? We're going to just cycle the A5, as usual. As soon as these mobs come out, we're going to use our ultimates. And then, now, we can place down Valara. We can place down Morrigan as soon as she's up, just to give the invig. And then we can put down Artemis. It's something that we just gotta do. Unfortunately, it's just how it goes. Here, we get our invig or Wings of Grace onto Valara. We get Cerberus to die at a good time. And now we're good. So, here, we're gonna do what we can. Damn, that is a lot of damage. I keep forgetting where his Cerberus is. He has a base exclusive on too, which is kind of crazy. Here we Valara ult now, and then we can Artemis as well. And we're just holding on to Vierna ult, of course. Let's just use our ultimates as best we can. We can kill most of them. That was a bad Vierna ult. I don't want to talk about it. Let's just keep cycling our ults. Luckily, Valara comes very soon because she is Esotericist. Damn, she did 880k in a hit. That's crazy. I don't know if you guys saw that, but she did 880k in one single hit, which is absurd amounts of damage. Here, let's just, let's Artemis a little early, but it's okay. And then we can Boreas. We're trying to get him low enough for Vierna. As you can see, the wall is not taking a lot of damage either. Mixes the knockback and the damage, obviously. Let's pop that, pop that. Let's just wait a second, and then we can place it down. Vierna doing 10 mil casually. We're gonna Valara ult here. We got Beelzebub up and everything. And we kind of need her to knock back the guys at the end, so that Cerberus can actually get his ult off. Ideally. Or we might be okay, because... Oh, she's slowing them, actually. She's slowing them, so we're good. Beelzebub does end his ult a little bit earlier than I would have liked, unfortunately. But it's okay. Okay, we popped the Vierna ult, which is beautiful. This is definitely harder, but that's just because MAGDA's such a freak that even beating this stage without her is, like, impossible. I don't know many people that have done it without. I'm sure someone has done it without MAGDA, maybe a couple people, but definitely doing it without her is super hard. But as you can see, we're doing really well. Now, obviously, this is Cerberus MVP. Cerberus will always be the MVP if you use this strat. Go watch my video if you want a better explanation. But essentially, we're stomping this. This is not that close, which is really good. Valara, I'm super excited to see the amount of damage that she's doing right here. You can see that she is hitting everything. She's knockbacking constantly. And she's just absolutely amazing for this. Super sick. I freaking love Valara. She's so fun. I'm pulling for her no matter what. I don't care if she's going to help my account or not. She probably will, honestly. She has so much variation. You can move her everywhere. It's great. Now, obviously, we're not moving her for this content because this content isn't really designed for moving. But it's just, it's so good. Here we get Cerberus down. And that's everything killed, except for the boss. Now, obviously, we gotta kill the boss and all that jazz. But, yeah. Amazing. Now, keep in mind, we do have more anti-heal, so it's possible that the damage numbers are going to be a bit lower because we're using Imrit. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. We're just going to win here. And, yeah, that was a lot of fun. This is the most fun I've ever had challenging Grade 1. Now, obviously, it's not going to be this easy because gear-wise, test server's really good. Everything's maxed exclusive. Some of these things are A5. But Valara and MAGDA, which are comparison, are both A0. So, with that, I'm really curious to see the damage numbers. I don't know how well this went. Here, we're gonna see that we get the stats. Obviously, Vierna, insane, she was executing a lot. Cerberus. And then Valara did very similar amounts of damage to MAGDA. Now, this isn't the best test ever. Boreas and Yimi both had a astronomical glow up, probably because the boss healed a lot more. But this is a very respectable amount of damage. And the knockbacks are incredible. I cannot overstate it. She knocks them back so much that she's honestly a really valuable option for this content. You could use her with MAGDA, which was better, if you guys remember that run, the one I had before this. But this is still possible. And you can probably do it without Yimi, which is great. Obviously, very difficult, but that's really good, right? Amazing AoE there. And I do suspect she works in Yuri too, but I simply don't have the time to try it. So feel free to try it when you guys would like. Now, there's a couple things I do want to try. Number one is Yuri 2. Now, Yuri 2 is not completed at all, so I'm actually going to put in... I'm going to put in an ungeared Valara. We get Valara there. I'm going to quick unequip. Because it's level 1, I just want to see the knockback. I don't really care about anything else. I know this isn't the best way to do it, but I am not going through all of this gear aid. So we're going to place her down. She's actually not going to block, which means that she's not a great option here, but maybe you can put her on a platform tile. Either way, the whole idea here is she'll probably knock back this guy and slow them down, which is big, as you can see there. Now, obviously, we got to get the kill, but she knocks it back so much. So much. So she is a viable knockbacker in Gear Dungeon 2. Just keep that in mind. Alright, I just wanted to try it, to show it. That's that. Now, one of the last things I wanted to try is Aoe Arena. So here I've made an Ingrid team with Diao-chan, obviously, Cyrene, Valara, of course, and then Elowen. And I want to see how it goes. Now, I can only set on the defense because no one has a team set right now, but I'm going to go through the normal strategy for this. Now, first of all, Valara, being less cost, automatically makes her very, very easy to get out. But we're still going to place down Cyrene. Boom, like that. And then we place down Valara, who cannot block. Shoot! That's not good. Okay, we're going to put Cyrene at the back because Valara cannot block. Now, that's really bad, I will say. And I can't get her to block. She'll never block. Which is not a bad thing for most content, but it's definitely bad for this. So we're going to place Valara down, and we leaked again. I don't know what to do to fix this. Whoops. That's not good. I don't know what to do. What do I do? Do I put Cyrene front? Jeez. That's not good. Valara, take us to the promised land. Kill it. Okay, she killed it. Very scuffed, but it's good enough. We're gonna place down, obviously, Ingrid next. Right there. Whoops. Right here. The knockback is gonna insta-kill, which is kind of crazy. That she does a lot of damage, you do have to admit. Now, obviously, her in the back is not good for Arena. If anyone could figure out how to get past that, that would be ideal. But I think we're also playing on very low BP, so everything is dying before I can do anything, which is a blessing and a curse. Of course. Valara, can you... Oh my god, Ingrid, stop! Ingrid needs to stop. We're gonna keep it going. Hopefully we can do something with this. Okay. Okay, Ingrid. Okay. You know what? This is Valara's video. We're gonna ult with her, see what she does to these waves. She pushes them back. She chains over here! What? No way! Okay. That's cool. Yeah, okay. That is sick. If there's any way you could put her in front, like maybe with a MAGDA team, you might get a lot of use out of this. Because that's pretty damn sick. Now, obviously, Ingrid would usually stomp this wave, and then you would Valara as soon as she's ready. She gets her ult very fast, I will admit. But also, like, damn, she chains like crazy. Let's do Ingrid like this, just keep the Valara train going. This is not a good arena example, okay? But like I just showed, she can't block anything, which is not good at all, but it's okay. Ooh, something else we could do. Ult. Move her over to here. Bam! Let's go! I didn't even think that she could do that, because I'm not used to it. And that chain lightning, oh my god, it's so strong. It's so good! What the heck? Obviously the BP's low, so this is not the traditional arena comp. But she's just so cool, I don't know. Like, what the heck? I freaking love her. And now look, we got a leak here, What we can do is we can ult, we can move her onto this tile, and we can move her there. Beautiful! And now we're able to attack again. Look at that! That's so sick! There's so much arena potential with these units, because you can move them! Obviously, she doesn't have blocks, so she's gonna struggle, but the fact that you can move her around is so cool. Look at this! Ingrid wasn't placed. Ingrid would be... It would be inverted. But she's doing more damage than Ymir ever could. She's knocking back, and she can move. She's so fun, man. I love her so much. And she's only one of the three. Alright. Now, the final thing, which I have a little bit of a treat for you guys, is GVG works! Which is crazy, because it never worked before. Every time I would try to garrison something, it would crash my game. But now, with Sandbox, shout out Sandbox, I can actually solo practice. And I've made this team. This team, for some reason, is on the past map. I don't know how to change it, or if I even can. And it's also kind of scuffed. Now, Praetus does not hit in front of Brokir. This is a very mediocre team, but I just wanted to show you her potential. And Praetus gets in the way, right? So, I'm gonna hit it with a classic... Oh, by the way, there's new Demon Soldiers. Let me know if you guys want a video on this. But essentially what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit him with a Necro, and that's it. I have level 11 Fools, which is not good. I have Dogs here. I have Pharaohs, obviously, which are not leveled at all. That's not good. I'm just gonna hit him with a classic Swarm strat. Very, very, very basic. I'm gonna use these in place of Pharaohs because I don't have my Pharaohs leveled at all. Either way, I will improve on testing this stuff in GVG, obviously, in the future. But for now, this will have to do. Alright? Now, the BP is also pretty low because no one is geared. So let me just quickly do that. We got Praetus here. I don't know why the BPs are so low in the thing. This feels weird. Why is the BP so low? Did they nerf Demon Soldiers on test server? Did they just change how BP works? I don't freaking know. Either way, we're just gonna go in here and we're gonna hit it with a classic. Here I'm gonna go in. Valara, invisible, does not block. Really not good. But here we get to see how these units, these tactical master units, work in GVG. I know how they work in GVG, but I still want you guys to see how they work in GVG. So here we go in with the COD. Obviously, Praetor is gonna ult and then proceed to not hit it much. We're going to have Cassiel absolutely cooking. Pretty basic stuff there. She's going to start flying. I think she can get hit when she's in that mode. She also knockbacks, which is pretty good. Keep in mind these Necros are affiliated to a 122 Yovar. So it's gonna be skewed for sure. But I just want to see how she performs against a Swarm, which she's not ulting immediately. Here she pushes it back. 500k damage is insane, first of all. Obviously, Praetus doing some hits, doing a good job. We got the Necros coming out even more. She's honestly doing a lot of damage, I will admit. And pushing, and then we're gonna lose, of course. Now, this is not a good attack by any means. This is just like an example. But if she ults, we also get to have her go just immediately nuke them. You see those lightning bolts? That's so sick. I think she'll have some GVG viability. Do I think it's like insane meta-defining Yimmer level GVG viability? No. But the cool thing about her is, here, let me edit the team. The cool thing about her is you could use her on platform tiles. And she's invisible. Now, I don't think she's always invisible. But the thing is, like, I could do something like this, right? And then move Rokir up, have like a Constance or something here. Just move Lily. And then she does really good AoE damage. And in her ult, she covers more area, which is really good. She hits hard. She knockbacks, she slows, she does magic resistance reduction, I'm pretty sure. Damn, she's good. So, I know that wasn't the best test ever, but it's the first tactical master unit I've taken a look at. These things are weird. It's very hard to test them. I mean, there's a lot that I didn't even go into because I don't know how to go into. Here, just as an example, let's go into this stage. Now, when it comes to tactical masteries, these are going to be especially good in campaign stages. In stages that you can move them freely, like the Malric Trials, right? The Malric Trials just came out. They're going to absolutely excel over there. Here, you know, why did it not let me move her? I don't know why it didn't let me move her, but essentially, in a lot of content, what you're going to see is, you're going to get a lot of value out of moving them around, because usually you have to use multiple ground units to do what these units can just do on their own. Here, we can say, hey, I want to go over here. Bam. Right? I want to move this. Okay, it looks like if you quick cast, it doesn't let you move them. So when you move them, you have to go like this, which I don't like. But see, you know, what if there's some content I need to move because there's enemies I can't hit? Like, literally right there. Well, then I can do that, right? Which is really sick. And Valara is going to be the most valuable for doing that because she can go on platforms, which is big. You could use her in most areas, right? Here, we want to get a head start. We move her over here, and then we start hitting, right? There's so much creativity potential. There's so much value in that ability that I simply cannot showcase because I don't know how to utilize it to its fullest potential because it just came out. Literally, it has been like 8 hours since these heroes were added or something, and I'm doing my best. So is there anything you think I missed? I am down to do a follow-up video. Maybe it'll help me test some other units. What do I think about Valara? I think her Grade 3 viability is a little bit disappointing, but her AoE damage is some of the best in the game. It is insane amounts of damage. I don't know why they do so much. She does so much damage. I mean, the fact that she is hitting units in Grade 3 that are resistant to magic and she's still killing them is crazy to me. And she has a lot of potential. She could be usable in GVG. I'm not saying she's amazing. Her BP is not bad if you need the BP. She has some solid arena potential, but like I said, she's kind of lacking in the department where she literally cannot block a unit in AoE. She has a lot of potential. I see a lot of use cases for her. I'm 100% going for her because she's such a blast to use. This is probably the most fun unit I've ever tested. And although I didn't go as much into it as I would have liked, there are still 2 other units to go into, the limited and the free one. So with that being said, I think Valara is worth your summons. You don't have to go for her. I know ancients are high priority to save, but at the end of the day, I think she's great. And that's what matters. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think I missed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Destined signing out.